This week on the American Crappie Trail, Tropical Depression Cindy batters the field.
35, 40 mile an hour winds and probably rained 3 inches on us.
We had 5 to 8 foot waves at the other end of the lake. You just got to try to survive today, you know, catch some fish.
Watching the American Crappie Trail at its best right here, folks.
Welcome to day one on Lake Sardis. As you can see, it's a little bit damp, but the fishing is good. We've got some strong teams out there. We've had to make a little bit of concession about Tropical Storm Cindy. You know, she moved in here on us, and we're starting a little later, and we're weighing in a little bit later. We're doing that to make it safer for the fishermen. So it's gonna be interesting. So whatever you do, stay tuned. We'll be right back with American Crappie Trail. The wind is blowing at Lake Sardis, Mississippi, but the good news is we've made it to Sardis, and we've got the biggest field yet. The wind's gonna blow a little bit, but I still think we'll catch fish, man.
Sam, I'm gonna tell you, we've got close to 160 anglers from all over the country. We know that the best anglers in the country are right here at Sardis, right here in Batesville, Mississippi. The wind is gonna blow. We've got a tropical depression. 20 to 30 mile an hour south winds. If you're a tournament fisherman, you've got to learn how to fish in the wind. You've got to learn how to fish in the rain. Friday, it's going to have both, and it's going to be to the 10th degree.
Tropical Depression Cindy hit with full force on day one, projected to drop 4 to 6 inches of rain and produce up to 30-mile-per-hour winds. Tournament director Matt Morgan made a call for safety. A decision to delay launch until 10 a.m. was made, and weigh-in was pushed back until 6 p.m.
You know, Matt's trying to do the best he can to make sure everybody's safe. That's the main thing. I mean, if we die today, we're not fishing tomorrow, so.
Once on the water, the team of Les and Jeff Smith faced the challenges of fishing in inclement weather.
Sardis is one of those lakes, you just, on a day like today, it's about as rough as it gets. For weather conditions, it's, you know, we're catching a few fish, we just got to find the big ones. We're getting hit.
Short fish, they're here. We just need his mama.
Catching a few small ones. We don't have a keeper fish in the boat yet, but hopefully that'll change here in a few minutes.
Swing him in here and get him in on him. Yeah. Oh, that's bad. Yeah. There, you got it. You're good. You're good. I got this bowl. That's a little fish. In this setting right here, this is what's working. It's a spinner that actually will flutter on the fall and the retrieve. So on something like this, it's perfect because as that boat comes up and down and we're going about a mile an hour, you got a flutter and you've got, you know, the spinner as we're moving. A lot of the spinners like that will only go if it's moving forward. Going down, it won't have that same action. And that little zip tail is really sweet, gives it the color you want too. You can add a little bit of flair to it.
Kent Watson and Matthew Outlaw had a game plan for day one, but high winds forced them off the fish they found in practice.
This morning, because of this tropical depression or whatever came through here, they delayed the start till 10 a.m. At 8 a.m. you could have your live well checked and leave.
We had our primary spot was way up the lake. We went up there this morning and it was brutal. It had 5, 6 foot swells. It's just completely unfishable.
We took one over the front of the boat, busted the trolling motor bracket.
It didn't take us long to realize that it wasn't worth sinking the boat over, so that's when we turned around and come back down.
Took us about an hour and a half to get back here. This was the first creek that we could get in that we could fish. We caught some fish in here and pre-fishing, and you know, we thought about coming in here first thing this morning, and we just made a mistake and wasted about an hour and a half today.
Today we're just on slow trolling in about 10 to 12 foot of water. Pushing double minnows with a few jigs on them. We're using 1.5 ounces of lead because of how windy it is and the waves. That the heavier lead helps hold the baits down, and we can move a little bit faster. And because we're using heavier lead, we're using the B&M Pro Stab trolling poles. They're a little bit stiffer pole. They'll hold the lead a lot better. They're, like I said, they're stiffer. They're using some mid-south tube jigs, rockpool rattlers, and roadrunner heads. Covering a lot of water, and that seems to be the name of the game today.
The Martin Metal team of Brian McGee and Scott Remfer were blown off their day one fish. Finding shelter from the wind, they are spider rigging a stump field in hopes of locating some good-sized tournament fish.
The bite is extremely finicky on Sardis. Will Tropical Storm Cindy back off as the day rolls on? We'll be right back.
Lucas Oil's Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Outboard Engine Oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean, super easy, super fast.
B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. Third-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail. The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by Lucas Oil Marine Products. Made in America, sold to the world. By Ranger Boats, driven to dominate. Super clean, super easy, super fast, super clean. By General Tire, anywhere is possible. And by these other proud sponsors.
Man, you fish against these group of guys, these guys are good. I mean, they just soon beat you as look at you. I mean, they're tough, they're all good fishermen. This is the cream of the crop when it comes to crappie fishing.
Tropical Storm Cindy pounded Sardis Lake with gale force winds and torrential rains. American Crappie Trail officials delayed the launch today until 10 a.m., pushing back weigh-in until 6 p.m. Our anglers have endured rough conditions, but the leaders of the B&M Angler Team of the Year race are staying positive.
Well, you know, the wind actually is blowing really hard right now, but it was blowing harder just about 45 minutes ago. It was really bad. You know, we made the decision to stay on this end of the lake. It's blowing more out of the southwest and play it safe today. I'm just trying to catch 7 fish. Hopefully we'll get 7 before the day's out. I hadn't got off to a good start though. We have fished a spot or two we wanted to try and caught quite a few fish, but right at 12-inch fish is what we've been boating so far. Hadn't lost any, just hadn't had a big bite. So anyway, we're gonna make a move. We're gonna give it about probably another 30, 45 minutes right here, and then we're gonna go fish some structure. So we'll see what happens, man. I honestly can't call it right now. It's tough, but I know them whitecaps got to be big downwind of us.
Hey guys, I'm gonna show you a really important tip here in 2 applications. We're here at Sardis Lake. The wind's been blowing 25 to 30 mile an hour out of the south, and the anglers really had only one option, and that was to tuck out of it. Me as an angler, I would have tried at some point in the day to have got out in that wind and rode the waves. In order for that to happen, I would have tied a special double minnow rig, a live bait rig. I've got a top tag line, a 3-way swivel. Everyone uses that. Here's the exception. I put a barrel swivel or a crane swivel down on my main line. I take my egg sinker and I run my line right through it. On the bottom, I've got a jig or a bare hook so that I can run 2 pieces of live bait. The catch to this is when you're in the wind, the pole tips are bouncing up and down. To minimize the bounce, this barrel swivel or crane swivel makes the entire difference. This weight can move up and down in the line. So as the pole tips are bouncing, the weight's actually moving a little bit. If you wrap it all the way around your egg sinker, every time they move, the pole bounce is very exaggerated. With this technique here, it moves up and down the line, you get less bounce. This technique, this tip, will help you catch more fish the next time you fish in the wind.
This morning, we held a tournament up to 10 o'clock because of the high winds. We had 5 to 8 foot waves at the other end of the lake. And I went all the way up to the upper end, and it was just unreal coming back. Look at that, there's another one, no size. The fishing's been sorry this morning, but it'll pick up. As soon as this wind lays down this afternoon, it'll pick back up. Caught a lot of fish this morning up there in the rough water, but there's all short fish. They got to be over 12. Short fish. I'm just looking for a place to get out the wind a little bit and kind of get regrouped before we get back out there. There'll be some fish caught today. There'll be some fish caught. Come on now, we got to get some fish here going.
The team of Kent Driscoll and John Harrison are catching fish, but not the quality they are looking for.
That's one of our top teams, Captain Coleman, and these guys have got so much experience. They're out here in the toughest part of the lake, wide open, you know, nothing around them. They're fishing in this rough water. They got their boat slowed down. They're catching a lot of fish. They're not the right species, but those crappie will school in there with those stripes. And when they get on top of this thing, we're gonna see some crappie, I think. They're in a 22-foot boat, okay? And they've got their boat slowed down with actually with log chains. And I'm pretty sure that Ronnie's got his boat about maybe got 50, 60 gallons of water in it. And that helps that boat. Those bigger boats are a big advantage. You couldn't stay out here in a little bitty boat. So that's a big advantage to the guys that run a big boat. Sometimes it's not an advantage at all. Sometimes it's a disadvantage, especially when you're in tight areas or fishing standing timber. But right now, they got the perfect situation. But they know that. That's the reason they're out here.
Martin Metal, the specialists for your post frame or stud frame structure. Whether your project is agricultural or residential, we are the one-stop shop for your building needs, with the goal to always provide quality products at competitive prices. With great service, Martin Metal is more than metal. We have our own truss plant for your truss needs. Our lumber yard has the highest grade of lumber available in the area, and our window and door options are as diverse as the buildings we supply for. Martin Metal, where our motto has always been, working hard for your success.
We put the Rockport Rattler to a real test. 2 champion anglers using 4 rods with the competition jigs against 4 rods using the Rockport Rattler. The result, the Rockport Rattler outfished the competition 10-1.
Rockport Rattler, gray head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport Rattler,
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
If you don't have a Rockport Rattler, you ain't catching crappie.
Land, water, seed, and sunshine. It's what farmers need to make things grow. At Mid-State Seed, we take pride in our partners and grow friendships too, providing quality seed farmers can count on. From quality control to packaging and shipping, Mid-State Seed works hard to distribute affordable product from America's heartland. Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership.
Lucas Oil Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Outboard Engine Oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
Sardis Lake, midday. Tropical Depression Cindy has battered our field, but the teams are still catching fish. These skilled anglers are the best in the crappie industry, but what makes them so unique are the relationships and what they stand for.
All right, we've got Team Reeve making the trip from Texas over here to Batesville, Mississippi to fish Sardis Lake. Rhonda Reeve is going on 1 year cancer-free, and she's doing one of the best things that a woman can do to bring awareness to the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. Rhonda is taking it on her own shoulders and going across the country, trying to bring awareness to ovarian cancer. She is a trooper, she's a fighter, she's a survivor. She's out here fishing, and she's here doing what she loves with her husband. Rockport Rattler team of Jason and Jim Westenberg. They call Arkansas home. Jason and Jim, fantastic anglers, have won numerous tournaments. Father-son team, makes my heart happy to see a father-son team be able to fish.
As Tropical Storm Cindy moves north, the winds start to subside. Our anglers are adjusting to ever-changing conditions and constantly moving schools of fish.
You know, we've been where you go in one day and catch good fish and think, oh yeah, well they'll be here. You know, we'll go back in there and get them the next day, and it's just like they're gone. You know, and you think, well, maybe they just wasn't biting, but then you get talking with other people. Oh man, we wore them out. You know, first thing that morning or something. So they'll definitely move. Might be a good instance right here. The other day we caught some good fish in here. Then you don't know if it's, you know, the weather change or if they moved, they will leave you.
These fish are just like in schools out here, and you have to cover some ground. I mean, all of a sudden you'll catch 3 or 4, 5 fish in a spot, and you can kind of turn around and stay back on those fish and catch them again, catch more of them. And that's just what we're hoping for, to hit a bunch of fish here. It's happened to us during the week. We caught some really nice fish in this area right here. Steve caught about 15 fish one day that was all keepers right in here, and caught some fish over 16 inches. So just never know when you're gonna run into a school.
The Ranger team of Tony Edgar and Travis Lepley struggled through Tropical Depression Cindy this morning. As the winds subside, the fishing picks up.
We got 5 fish in the live well, 3 decent fish. Got 3 hours left to catch 2 more, so it's been tough this front. I don't know what it does to these Mississippi crappie, but it makes them not bite. But it's been pretty slow. We was catching quite a few numbers, not all keepers, the last 2 days, and not even the smaller ones or anything like it's been.
Usually that afternoon bite will pick up a little bit. If we can get 7 fish, I'll feel good on a day like today, because I'm telling you what, it was a Hurricane Cindy now. She whipped us, because I mean, it was blowing, raining. We was just doing all we could do to see our rods. It was raining so hard. We're gonna have at it, and I think if we can get 7 caught, we still have a chance tomorrow. Fortunately, they gotta be 12 inches. I don't think he's gonna make the cut. I'm left 11 3/4. It's a little short.
We expect those that can land 7 fish will be gunning for a position in the top 10. Who will it be? We're gonna find out soon.
B&M Poles. The #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. Third-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
The outboards that are changing everything. Easy to own and fun to drive. The Evinrude E-Tech G2, now from 150 to 300 horsepower.
And it was just so easy to drive, not having to worry about the trim. I could just gas it and go, and that's where I fell in love with the engine.
I could drive my boat literally with one finger.
In terms of just convenience, easy for me, the G2 is perfect.
I wanted something my wife could drive with ease.
I love my G2.
For details, visit evinrude.com.
From the tackle store to your truck, to your boat on the lake, back to the ramp, and all the way home. Angle Coolers have you covered.
For over 30 years, Lucas Oil has provided the very best products for the land and sea. From this success stems another amazing product from the Lucas Marine lineup, Lucas Slick Mist Marine Speed Wax. Just spray it on and wipe it off. Lucas Marine Speed Wax will make your boat look brand new and provide great UV protection. Apply Lucas Marine Slick Mist to wet and dry surfaces in sunlight or shade. It's ideal in both fresh and saltwater application and prevents hard water deposits. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by B&M Fishing, quality performance and service for over 70 years. By Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership. Martin Metal, your source for quality buildings, roofing, and lumber. By Evinrude, official engine of the American Crappie Trail. And by these other proud sponsors. Waning hours of day one for the American Crappie Trail's Super Clean Showdown on Sardis Lake. It's been a tough bite today, but with $60,000 up for grabs, the best crappie anglers in the country won't come up empty.
Well, you know, always someone is going to get on them, always. I mean, that's going to happen. I don't care how bad the weather it is, how bad the water is, or nothing else. Someone will always get on them. But today, like I said yesterday, we just got to try to survive today, you know, catch some fish. So far, it ain't working out for me, but it's working out for some people, I promise you. It always does.
You see that? That's a small fish. But here's tip number 2. Anytime they get a bite, anytime they catch a fish, they constantly changing out that live bait. That's the secret to live bait, is you gotta keep that bait fresh, you've gotta keep it active. That's just like throwing a jig head out there with no body on it. So you wanna keep that live bait fresh and active as much as you possibly can. I always hook my minnows through the eyes. They hook theirs through the lips. A lot of people have different ways of hooking them. I like to hook mine through the eyes. But that doesn't mean that I'm right all the time.
We've got a couple in the live well and just started picking up some fish, so hopefully we'll stay on. They'll keep biting. We'll get at least a 7 fish limit. It's pretty rough out here. Get 7 fish and then we'll start hunting for a big one. But right now, just trying to get 7 fish and put ourselves in position to catch them tomorrow, because today is just to grind it out,
kind of day, I think. Need a little bit bigger than that.
Right now we've got either 9 or 10 fish in the boat. One of them is a really nice fish, and three other ones are okay. They're not what we want, but we'll take it on a day like today. We wanted to fish out here all day. Obviously the wind wouldn't let us this morning. We fished up in Clear Creek, and that's where we've caught all of our keeper fish except one. But wind slowed down. We came out where we caught some yesterday. It's too rough. We're gambling to catch 1 or 2 big ones, but we hadn't done it yet.
Despite enduring gale force winds and rain, the field returns to weigh-in in high spirits and ready to weigh the fish they worked so hard for. The General Tire Giant of the Day is brought to the scales by the team of Warren Cotton and Thomas Hill.
We're gonna move right up. We have a new big fish, 260. Beautiful Sardis crappie.
Next to the scales is the B&M team of Walters and Solomon.
838, that's gonna put you about in 5th place, I think, right now.
And we're gonna do the same thing we did today, we're just gonna do it in a different area.
A lot different area, a lot deeper water.
Fishing solo today, Charlie Bunting brings 6 big crappie to the scales.
845. Guys, I'll tell you what, if you want to know about a real pro, right here, Charlie Bunting with 6 fish by himself doing it out there in that wind today. Congratulations on a great day.
Team Shepherd brings their limit to the scales.
First impression, Monday it was a nice lake, and today she's pretty mean.
886, current leader.
Yeah, we're gonna try to fish out in the bigger water tomorrow if the wind will let us, and if it don't, we'll just go back to our out of the wind spots and hope for the best.
With only a few teams left to weigh in, Tony, Edgar, and Travis Lepley step onto the platform.
And they're gonna have a good string here, folks. We're gonna move right up and lead 10-11, first 10-pound string.
You know, it's a tough day. Some of these good fishermen not catching 7, so fortunate to be where we're at. We got a good plan for tomorrow. We're gonna stay where we caught those bigger fish and try to win this tournament.
The final team to weigh in is the father-son team of Terry and Cole Stewart.
We do 1098. Stepping right up on top. You guys are our new leaders.
We're going to have a different plan for tomorrow, and we're going to try to fish some shallower water. If it doesn't work out, we might have to go back to what we did today, but we were off course today and just luckily found some fish.
Terry and Cole Stewart take an 0.8 of a pound lead over the second place team of Edgar and Lepley. Tony and Mike Shepard are in third with 8.86 pounds. Fourth place to 10th is separated by just 0.7 of a pound. Join us next week for the exciting conclusion of the American Crappie Trail's Super Clean Showdown on Sardis Lake.
Look at that, folks. That's a nice Sardis fish.